The Olympic flag has landed in Los Angeles, and the city is short of time. It's hosting the next FIFA World Cup and the 2028 Olympics, so it has some big changes to make before millions of people start descending on it. This will include massive strides in infrastructure, particularly in aviation and transport. Take the Paris Olympics, for example. Paris had to spend millions on doubling its metro and making an additional one from scratch to cater to the influx of visitors. After a gap of 40 years, the Games have once again returned to LA. That's why everything has to be top-notch.
Paying attention to our infrastructure to make sure our streets and everything else are prepared, because we have a lot of work to do on so many different levels.
What is going to be Los Angeles' strategy, and how will they ensure that everything is on time before the Games begin? It's LA's third time hosting the Olympics. However, the Los Angeles of today is a far cry from what it was in 1984 and certainly in 1932, when it first hosted the Games. The streets were less crowded, which ultimately meant less demand for transport and aviation. To solve these multifaceted problems, a massive project called 28 by 28 was unveiled. With a budget of $40 billion, this initiative aims to complete 28 infrastructure projects before 2028. A separate $15 billion were reserved for renovating LA's airport. The airport's facelift will go hand in hand with the rest of LA's transformation. The aim is to reduce congestion and smoothen the travel experience for the millions of expected guests. The Los Angeles Airport, or LAX, is the fourth busiest airport in the world. It handles 1,500 flights every 24 hours. That's roughly one plane every minute. In 2023 alone, it serves 75 million people, and that too when Los Angeles already has 4 other airports. With the upcoming sports events, things are only going to get tougher.
We've been working hard, right? We have operational plans in place. We've worked on our venues. We understand what we need to do, and now it's time to get all that in motion and get all that in gear.
Los Angeles Airport currently spans about 3,000 acres and consists of 9 terminals spread in a U-shaped. The Tom Bradley Terminal, or Terminal B, is located on the west side of the airport. The centerpiece of this development is Automated People Mover, APM. This will be a 2.25-mile elevated train system that consists of 6 stations. 9 trains will run simultaneously, powered fully by electricity. Each track is 50 to 70 feet above the ground, providing the best views of the city to people on board. If you look at its designs, it may remind you of the Gotham City Metro shown in the Batman movies. The only difference is that the AMP won't take you to Wayne Tower, but rather the Los Angeles Airport. After checking in, the passengers are directed to the nearest APM station. The trains operate 24/7, arriving every 2 minutes during peak hours. Within 10 minutes, the passengers are dropped at their respective terminals. Currently, about half the people drive to LAX in a car. That's why APM is a critical strategy to reduce congestion at the airport. In the long term, APM will push 42 million vehicles out of roads. Each APM station is linked to the Intermodal Transportation Facilities, or ITF. This is a convenient location for passengers, for drop-off, pickup, and parking. But by far the most useful feature of the LAX is the Consolidated Rent-A-Car Facility. This will bring all the rental car companies to one convenient location adjacent to the 405 freeway. If you like the video so far, kindly take a moment to subscribe to our channel. We bring the latest news in the construction industry with 2 new videos each week. Enough with promotion, let's get back to our video. The facility will house over 18,000 rental cars ready to be rented. Since it is directly linked to APM, passengers won't have to take a shuttle to reach the central terminal. This will remove 3,000 daily shuttle trips on the surrounding streets of the airport, so you can already see a big chunk of the traffic gone by this minute change. Los Angeles Airport will also be connected to the city's metro network. Passengers arriving at LAX can simply take the APM up to Metro Transit Station. The gray dotted line shows the path of APM, while the pink one shows the metro's route. The transit station will open by the end of 2024 and will include a bus plaza, bicycle parking, and a customer service center. But it won't be like any regular boring station. After all, this is LA, the global center of arts and culture, and its airport has to reflect the city's legacy. The station will feature a life-size sculpture suspended from the skylight. Major renovations are underway at the Tom Bradley International Terminal in Terminals 4 and 5. These upgrades aim to enhance passenger flow, security screening, and overall amenities. The Tom Bradley Terminal will see the most visible changes. An inline baggage security system will be added to level up the efficiency. New lounges, shops, and dining options will be made available for travelers in waiting. The recent renovation is a full-circle moment since this terminal was constructed in anticipation of the 1984 Olympics. At the time, the Boeing 747 was the biggest aircraft it could accommodate, whereas today it features double-sided concourses that can welcome planes as big as Airbus A380. The Bradley Terminal is being extended to add 150,000 square feet. This extension is called the Midfield Satellite Concourse. Its north part has already been completed, adding 15 new gates, including 12 for wide-body aircraft like the Airbus A380. This will allow LAX to accommodate more international flights and bigger cargo. The south part of the concourse is still under construction. It will provide 8 more gates for narrow-body aircraft and is expected to be completed by 2025. The design of the concourse will incorporate both style and utility. The glass exterior is strongly influenced by modernist homes. This type of facade allows passive cooling and sunlight inside the building. Since time isn't really on their side, the developers have to get creative. The concourse's construction utilizes a first-of-its-kind construction technique known as off-site construction and relocation. In simple words, segments of the concourse are built off-site and then transported to the construction site for assembly. Using this innovation, MSC South was topped out in less than 7 months. As the Olympic fever spreads, LA is looking forward to reliving the Olympic glory from 1984. The 1984 Games were considered a huge success after 3 previous failures. Montreal went into bankruptcy after hosting the 1976 Games. The initial cost, estimated at $124 million, skyrocketed to $1.5 billion. It took decades for Montreal to financially recover from the piles of debts. The next Olympics in Moscow were widely boycotted due to the Soviet invasion of Afghanistan. With back-to-back failures, the world started regarding the Olympics as an expensive, hot mess. That's why, in 1984, only Los Angeles bid for the right to host. LA adopted a no-build policy as construction was expensive. Instead, they modified existing stadiums like the LA Coliseum and the Rose Bowl. Unlike the previous times, this Olympics freely accepted private sponsorship rather than solely relying on the government's money. Using this strategy, LA earned a sizable profit of $225 million, and the 2028 Olympics won't be an exception. More than 80 venues will host different game formats, including Crypto.com Arena. Historic locations like the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum and Rose Bowl, which has already hosted the Games twice, will be reused. The opening ceremony will kick off in SoFi Stadium in Inglewood. This stadium can accommodate up to 70,000 spectators and is currently the largest stadium in the NFL. To add on, Los Angeles has promised a car-free Olympics. In other words, the venues will only be accessible via public transportation. This will make the 2028 Olympics the greenest in the Olympic history. But can Los Angeles really achieve this, or is shooting for the stars? LA comprises of 88 cities with a combined population of 10 million. What's more is that 91% of Americans' households possess at least one car. This makes the promise a bit unachievable. Some might object to this and give Paris as an example. Paris has been praised for how accessible the Games have been. Nearly every venue was reachable by metro, commuter train, tram, or bus. However, it's important to note that the Paris is 12 times smaller than the city of LA. Being a European city, it has a more mild weather and is relatively more walkable. But despite the challenges, Los Angeles isn't losing the spirit.
We don't have an Eiffel Tower. We've got a Hollywood sign.
I think that our games will really show the diversity, the international character of our city. And then we do have Hollywood, so I expect a lot of magical opportunities.
The federal government have approved $900 million funds to boost infrastructure, fund new projects, and improve safety. Metro is planning to borrow more than 2,700 buses to help transport athletes and visitors. California's transit agency will designate freeway lanes for buses only. That was also the plan for the Los Angeles Olympics in 1984, before rail lines even existed in the city. The 28 by 28 initiative aims to complete 28 highway and transit projects. However, only 18 are on their course to be finished before the Games. By 2028, Metro plans to operate rapid, heavy rail service beneath most of Wilshire Boulevard. Metro Line D is being extended to the West Los Angeles VA Medical Center by 2027. It will have a station near UCLA, enhancing connectivity to the Olympic Village and other venues. Last year, Metro expanded Line A to become the longest light rail in the country. It offers a direct route from East Los Angeles to Santa Monica. Visitors from around the world can hop on a train from LAX, then board the subway to Urban Light and cruise straight from Santa Monica to East Los Angeles. The most important Metro extension is the Purple Line. This will add 9 miles of new subway line, connecting neighborhoods like Koreatown, Beverly Hills, and Westwood to the broader Los Angeles metro system. It will also provide a much-needed connection to University of California, which will house the Olympic Village. In contrast to Paris Olympics, LA will convert its UCLA campus into a village. This approach emphasizes minimizing new construction and reduces overall costs. The Olympic Village in Paris was divided across 3 municipalities, designed specifically for the Games. Despite the enormous costs borne by the French government, the athletes weren't happy with the facilities. Most of them opted for a hotel for the rest of their stay. Let's hope that the City of Angels learns from their mistakes and makes their stay memorable. LA will also gain first-hand experience from the upcoming 2026 FIFA and the Super Bowl in 2027. Both events will take place at Sophie Stadium. This state-of-the-art venue opened in 2020 and cost $5 billion to build. It has since gone on to host famous sports tournaments and performances by the likes of Taylor Swift, Travis Scott, and others. The closing ceremony of the 2024 Olympics has set the wheels in motion. It featured Tom Cruise bringing the flag to LA in his signature style. Now that the Paris Olympics have ended, the clock is ticking. Los Angeles must complete much-needed upgrades to the region's transit system to handle an influx of athletes without going bankrupt. Do you think that LA can replicate its 1984 success? Comment your thoughts below. Anyway, thanks for watching, and we'll catch up in the next video.